What's up, Falcon fans? Can the Atlanta Falcons finally snap a 3-game losing streak against the Los Angeles Chargers? The last time we beat them was back in 2012, where we had their amazing record 13-3. If you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. If you guys hate this type of content, hit that dislike button. It will hurt your boy's feelings, well, maybe just a little bit, but if you want to do a huge favor for your boy by hitting that subscribe button, it will help our empire grow. So on that note, let's just dive into the video and let's get started with the Los Angeles Chargers situation. As it stands right now, the Los Angeles Chargers rank number 23 when it comes to total passing yards in the air with 2,428, and when it comes to total passing touchdowns in the air, they rank number 21 with only 13. At first, it just seems kind of strange because knowing that Justin Herbert usually balls out at the quarterback position because he usually averages over 4,000 total passing yards or more, and then when it comes to touchdowns in the air, he usually averages 25 or more in the air. So it is kind of seeing a little ridiculous that his stats are really lowered or declined, but I would probably give him the benefit of the doubt because most of his weapons are gone. Guys like Mike Williams, of course Keenan Allen, of course Austin Eckler, and then of course the tight end Everett. All those guys are going somewhere else for other teams, so obviously he has to get adjusted with the new recruits. But we do have 6 games left, so obviously he can recover from those stats where he usually does very well statistically. So when it comes to the running attack, is actually pretty interesting because they rank number 17 with 1,299 total rushing yards. But here's a side note, because their leading rusher, J.K. Dobbins, is ruled out versus the Atlanta Falcons with a knee sprain. So that's good for us because statistically, when it comes to his stats, he has 766 total rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns in the season. So this is a huge blow to part of their offensive juggernaut power. And when it comes to rushing touchdowns, they rank number 9 with 12, and we all know that most of them come from Dobbins. And when it comes to the quarterback and Justin Herbert, he averages more than 200 passing yards per game and also average getting 2 or more sacks per game, and that's the good news for the Atlanta Falcons defense. So when it comes to the defense side of the ball, when it comes to giving up passing yards in the air, they rank number 26 with only giving up 2,416 total passing yards, and they have 61 pass deflection, and of course they have 9 interceptions as well to boot. Their corners and safeties are shut down. They hardly ever allow the receivers to get over 100 receiving yards or more, besides 2 players, and that's against the New Orleans Saints and Chris Olave, who caught 8 receptions for 107 total receiving yards, 0 touchdowns, and the Cincinnati Bengals T. Higgins for 9 receptions for 148 total receiving yards and only 1 touchdown. Plus, when it comes to giving up touchdowns in the air, they rank number 21 with only giving up 14 to the opposing quarterback duos of whatever offensive situation they allow them to score on. And when it comes to stopping the run, they rank number 19 with only giving up 1,317. And when it comes to only allowing rushing touchdowns, they are the best of the best. They rank dead last by only giving up 5 rushing touchdowns on the ground. And when it comes to getting after the quarterback, they rank number 6 with 36. And the last time that we faced a really good defense that get after the quarterback with over 30 plus sacks, that was against the Denver Broncos, and that was last week, where Kirk Cousins was harassed and on the ground more often than I like. So now let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons situation. When it comes to the Atlanta Falcons passing the ball in the air, we rank number 6 with 2,845. And when it comes to passing touchdowns in the air, we rank number 12 with 17. And when it comes to Kirk Cousins, average over 220 plus passing yards per game. And he also averaged getting 2 sacks or more per game. That's not ideal, to be honest with you. And when it comes to the rushing attack for the Atlanta Falcons, in total, we rank number 18 with 1,297 total rushing yards. And when it comes to rushing touchdowns, we rank number 24 with only 8. Of course, our receiving core hasn't looked this good since back in 2020, where Calvin Ridley had over 1,300 and something total receiving yards, and Russell Gage had over 700, and Julio Jones had over 700 receiving yards as well. Of course, now Drake London and Darnell Mooney both have over 700 plus receiving yards, so this looking like a really good time where both our wide receivers will get or hopefully reach over 1,000 receiving yards before the season is over. And when it comes to the running attack, Bijan Robinson was a no-show last week, but hopefully the Atlanta Falcons can rectify this and we can just ball out against the San Diego. I said San Diego. Sorry, I meant to say Los Angeles Chargers because half of my family on my dad's side are from San Diego, so we used to call them the San Diego Chargers. But besides that, let's talk about the Falcons defense side of the ball. When it comes to giving up passing yards in the air, we ranked number 14 with 2,592. That's not good. When it comes to giving up touchdowns in the air, we ranked number 4. That's definitely not good, by giving up 21 total touchdowns in the air by the quarterbacks. When it comes to stopping the run, we ranked number 15 with giving up 1,399 total rushing yards. And when it comes to stopping the run, this is pretty good. We ranked number 30 by only giving up 6 rushing touchdowns allowed on the ground. And when it comes to getting after the quarterback, we ranked dead last by the 32 mark by only getting after the quarterback 10 times this entire season. That's pretty pathetic, unfortunately. And when it comes to stopping the run per game in general, we allow over 100 yards or more. So that's not the best, but compared to a couple weeks where we've been giving up 130 plus rushing yards per game, is slightly good, but could improve nonetheless. So now let's talk about the final conclusion. So what is the final verdict? I have the Atlanta Falcons shocking the world by beating the Los Angeles Chargers 30-27. There are a couple of factors why I put this into fruition. Number 1, we came back from a bye week, so hopefully Raheem Morris and the coaching staff studied the opponents really hard, because if they don't, we can easily lose this division, and this is a great motivator for us to clinch our NFC South title and get into the playoffs firmly. And when it comes to the Chargers rushing attack, Dobson is out, and that's a huge key factor for them. Now they have Gus Edwards, and he's a baller, but he hasn't done a lot so far this season. And number 3, we're at home field advantage. Hopefully the Falcon fans can just do crowd noise and distract the Chargers from communicating properly. So on that note, if you guys lasted this long to the very end of the episode, thank you so much for taking your own personal time and day to watch these Falcon content videos. Here's more on the screen if you guys are interested in. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.